Hi everyone, I'm Silvia Spina. I'm an artist and designer, and guess what? I absolutely love sketchbooks, and I also absolutely love traveling. Today I'm gonna take you with me to Cadaqués, a little coastal town in Spain. I'm gonna share with you what got me back into sketching and share with you the process of one of my paintings. Hello everyone. Today I'm saying hi from Cadaqués. This is a little coastal town in Spain that honestly feels like it was made for sketchbooks. It's like a fisherman town. You have all these little buildings with mostly bright blue windows and doors, and that combination of white and blue is just special. It's a town that is by the sea, in between two mountains, so the sea here is always very calm, it's always very peaceful, and this town has been very popular amongst many artists. As an artist, I can understand why. There is this calm golden light that just makes you want to sit down and paint. I didn't come with a plan, but I did pack all my art tools and sketchbooks. And I have been doing quite a lot of sketching since I got here. Like, I can't stop. It's just so beautiful. Everywhere you look, you're like, oh, I want to paint that, or I want to draw that. And whilst I'm here, I decided to, why not, do a YouTube video where I get to share creative process that I go through when I travel. So something funny is that I brought two sketchbooks with me. One is a little bit better. It's a more expensive, beautiful Moleskine sketchbook. The other one is just like the cheapest sketchbook that I could find at home. Now, guess which sketchbook I've been using the most? It's the cheap paper, because I think that it just gives me, I don't know, I'm less afraid of like wasting paper when using that sketchbook, which is funny because sketchbooks should primarily be for experimenting and finding your own style and trying out different art tools or different approaches. And I think that when you get like a more expensive sketchbook, for me at least, I go through a different creative process. I want to sit down, I want to put masking tape on the sides of the paper, get my paintings out and do the best I can. Hopefully I get like a really nice painting to show everyone. But it's not the type of sketchbook which I don't give up and I just like do whatever. So it's fun. I ended up sketching in different styles depending on the mood I was. Some are loose and quick, made with brush markers, and others are made with a mixture of pencil or ink, pen, and watercolor, which has been a lot of fun. As an artist, I have found that keeping a regular sketchbook practice is one of the best ways to improve your artistic skills. It strengthens your observation skills, helps you understand composition, and improves how you translate what you see onto the page. Aside of sketching, I also teach, and this is how I support myself in creating videos like this one. And so, I want to share with you that I just published a new sketching class. I'm creating this class for everyone who wants to build a regular sketching habit. I won't be teaching step-by-step techniques, but I will show you how I sketch, mix materials, and make creative decisions. Insights that can support your art practice and get you sketching regularly, because by doing so, you're going to see a progress in your drawing skills. You're going to be able to test different styles, get confident, and in the process of doing so, you'll discover that sketchbooks can become a really great company. Okay, back to Cadaqués. So, I'm planning to take you with me on a walk through this beautiful town. Look at that corner, look at that coffee. If you ever come to Cadaqués, you have to come to this place called Brown Sugar. They do the best smoothies ever. This one has dates, peanut butter, I think, banana, and oat milk, so a proper treat. They also do live music at night, which is really nice. So here I am at the top, from where the church is looking down. And whilst walking in Cadaqués, I found that there are all these utility boxes that have been painted in a variety of styles with coastal scenes. So walking through the city feels like walking through a gallery, which is beautiful. Here's another one in a different style. So whilst I was walking the city, my plan was not to paint anymore, but I was prepared just in case. And I found this view and I thought, well, since there's this little wall that I can use as a table and film myself, why not do it? I'm using my cheap sketchbook that, due to its bad quality, it has kind of like started falling apart, so painting directly on it is very uncomfortable, and that's why I have opted for just ripping the papers from it and then clipping it once I'm done. This is my pencil case, which is a little bit messy, but just so you know, all of these things which look very messy are just pieces of napkins that I keep in here for when I paint and I can't access a clean napkin or absorbent paper. After a few minutes of thinking, I decided that I'm going to use a vertical composition, which I'm going to start sketching with a pencil. I'm enjoying a lot mixing pencil with watercolor because it somehow makes the watercolor process easier. A lot of the times I'm a bit lazy with the initial sketch, but having thought about the composition makes the painting process much more enjoyable. The idea with this sketch is not to take too much time on it. I'm going to try to be really quick, mainly because I will be joining my boyfriend for dinner in about an hour and I'm always a bit late. So I'm going to try to keep this really quick. Okay, now that my sketch is done, I'm going to take my watercolor out, my brush, this water holder, and the very dirty napkin. I usually carry a bottle of water to drink, so it's great to use to fill up this water holder. And I rather use this than one of those brushes that you can fill with water because, I don't know, I just think that it makes the process of painting more comfortable and I can use more water whilst I paint, which is very important when you're painting with watercolor. I mean, I'm saying watercolor again, but yes, the amount of water that you can add to the pigments and hold in your brush matters a lot. Okay, so my idea here is to do something really quick. My idea actually was not to stop and paint, but I told you, anywhere you stop, it's like, oh, I want to paint that. And so I'm here trying to be quick and having quite an awkward position on filming. So you might probably see the camera moving quite a lot. I'm gonna stop saying quite. I think I've been spending quite a lot of time with my mother-in-law and my boyfriend who are British. And so the word quite is being quite used. Enough of that. Maybe I should show you first what I'm drawing. So this is what I'm doing, okay? That is kind of like what I'm going to do, and I'm going to skip 80% of the bowls on the sea, whatever that name is, and the boats, because I want to be quick. So there's some light green. It's much more saturated than what I can see in the camera, and there's a beautiful lighthouse there. And I'll see, and there's like all this beautiful kind of like texture in the sea. And let me just put this, there you go. You'll see like all these lines in the sea and stuff, so that's the idea. Back to this awkward view. You know what? I'm very surprised with this tiger paper. It's not a tiger paper, it is a cheap but really good quality block of paper. This is getting way too dark from the beginning. There you go. I started painting with this palette when I came to Cadaqués. I didn't take it out of my case for a while. I was painting a lot with gouache when I was in Mexico and kind of neglected a little bit this little palette. But this trip, I've been using it a lot, and mixed up with this, very kind of affordable but nice paper, I've been enjoying it a lot. And this is also reminding me that it's by painting that you get better at it. I have always used watercolors to paint botanical paintings or assets for digital design, but I have never really used it to create classical paintings or landscapes because I've always thought that I'm not good at it. But this trip, I have felt something shifting, somehow like a breakthrough. I have been feeling much more comfortable painting with watercolor, and I think that it's because by carrying these more affordable sketchbooks with me, I have painted much more, I have been much more experimental, less afraid to create mistakes, and that is where the real learning process happens, is when you are not afraid of making mistakes. What is a mistake anyway? Like, if you start from that there are no mistakes, there are things that lead you to learning new things, and it's by doing those type of experiments that you understand what things do you enjoy. You understand the pigments and how do they react to the paper and all that. Hi everyone, I'm back home. Sorry to stop the painting video. I just wanted to ask you that if you haven't done so, why don't you subscribe to my channel and like this video? This will motivate me to keep creating this type of content. These videos do take a while to edit, but I also do love making them, so I don't care. I just want to know who my viewers are. If you have any questions, leave them below. It'd be lovely to know if there's any technique that you want me to try to film, or what did you think about this trip, if you enjoy these kind of like art and travel vlogs and all that. And just so you know, I will be posting more exclusive in-depth content in my Patreon page, future drawing and painting sessions hosted on Zoom via Patreon. So if that's something that you think that could interest you, I advise you to just go there and subscribe so that when I start these things, you get a notification and then you can join. For now, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would mean a lot. And say hi in the comments. Okay, back to painting. I hope you know that this video is played at 200 speed. It's twice as fast as I painted. I am trying to paint fast in here, but this is way too fast. But you know what? The exercise of wanting to paint fast was great because I think that for the first time I achieved a loose watercolor painting. I'm normally super detailed and enjoy, just like taking the time to use a thinner brush to paint details and stuff, but here I was rushing it. I knew that I had about 20 minutes to not just paint but actually keep on like showing you Cadaqués before going for dinner, and I didn't want to be late. The exercise of painting fast was incredible. Honestly, it was so good. I think it's one of my best paintings ever. So after doing this first layer, I went ahead and started mixing a darker tone to start giving the dark areas to this painting. I think I mixed burnt sienna, violet, and blue, I think, to achieve this really dark, desaturated gray. Then I mixed a darker blue because, as I said at the beginning, I wanted to paint that really beautiful texture that was over the sea. And I was a little bit nervous when doing this, but once more, this is a sketch, it's not a final painting. The paper is cheap. Sorry to keep saying the paper is cheap, but it did make a difference. It's not cheap, it's actually good, but just thin. It's not like a 300-gram pure cotton watercolor paper. Is more like a recycled sketching paper. So psychologically, for me at least, it does make a difference. Here I was mixing blue with violet, and I don't know, just painting really intuitively. Down here, I didn't want to cover the green completely, so I just moved on to the sky. And lastly, I created a darker tone to add some details onto the boats. As you know, before I even started painting, I took the decision of skipping all the buoys, all the balls, I don't know how you say that, that were like over the sea. There are loads of those in Cadaqués. And there were also a lot of little sailing boats, which I also decided to skip. And here is the final painting. Something else that was good about having to go for dinner was that I didn't overdo it. I had to stop, leave it there, and dash because I was already late. And as a result, for the first time ever, I have a very loose, beautiful watercolor painting. So I have learned a lot. I'm going to leave you with a few behind the scenes time-lapse videos of the other paintings I made throughout this trip. But in the meantime, well, you can stay if you want, you can leave, but I would like to know if you enjoyed this video in the comments. It's actually really cool when people leave comments and they let you know things about them or what did they enjoyed and stuff like that, because it ultimately motivates me to keep making these videos. If you are getting back into sketching or you're carrying a sketchbook with you, you can also tell me if there's anything in particular that you want to learn, if you have seen anything, any of my classes, or if you're an artist. I don't know, you can tell me whatever you want, really. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now and leave you with the rest of this painting behind the scenes session. And here are all the sketches that I did over the weekend. I am so happy with this one and how it turned out. These ones were with brush markers, and this lady was actually drawing. She inspired me to do something like this, a bit more experimental and linear. This man was reading. This turned out quite cool actually. Brush markers and Posca marker. This is the reason I brought this sketchbook. I needed to design an exercise, and this is another favorite of mine. Oh, and just in case I haven't said it enough in this video, I brought the cheapest sketchbook that I could find at home. 5 minutes before leaving, I grabbed like the cheapest sketchbook, and it's been amazing because I've done so many paintings, and the reason is because it's a cheap sketchbook. I don't have any attachment to it, and for a long time I was like carrying this Moleskine sketchbook, which I still love, but I'm attached to it. I'm attached to the paintings that I create on it. I want them to be beautiful and finished and polished, you know, and yes, that's beautiful, but in reality a sketchbook should be a place to explore, to test different styles, to not fearing doing something ugly, you know. That's what inspired this video. And that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, then subscribe to my channel and like it. That would mean a lot. Go check my Patreon page if you want access to exclusive content. Oh, before I go, here are all my links. And if you'd like to stay in touch, I send out a newsletter every few months where I share the things that are inspiring me, quotes, creative reflections, thoughts on being an artist in today's world. So if you're up for it, I'd love to have you there. Have a beautiful day, enjoy, stay creative, buy a cheap sketchbook and draw as much as you can, because you will see the improvement like this. Ciao!